I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a review for Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut,
Oh,
which is out now, I believe, or by the time you guys are listening, hopefully it'll be updated for Carlos. We can't be having that.
yo,
You
man,
know,
can't have that.
So as you guys already know, Ghost of Tsushima, my favorite game of 2020. Game was awesome, and this one is the director's cut that they announced a while back. And the main draw here is the expansion. It's called Iki Island. You get this whole new island to explore, new storyline that's tied into the main one.
Quick question. Did you do their rollover save?
Yeah, what I did was I turned on the main game, which was the PS4 version. It said transfer your save from PS4, so I clicked on that, transferred it, and that was that. Actually, no, I installed the PS5 version, excuse me, and then I transferred it from PS4. The option's right there. It's kind of weird how PlayStation doesn't have a universal way of doing this. Some games are different than others.
Apparently, the way Digital Foundry said is that you just go into the PlayStation 5 version and it says transfer PlayStation
That's it.
4.
That's all it is. Yeah, it's very very straightforward process.
It's not like the other ones where you have to turn on the old game and then put the new game on.
No, nothing like that. By the way, just like Spider-Man, all those trophies that you got will pop. So I got the platinum again. I got the platinum again.
Quick question before you move on.
Yeah.
Does the Iki Island have a platinum as well?
No, it's just like five or six trophies, no platinum for that.
Gotcha.
So you're good to go. And it's still separated, so you only need to get the platinum. I mean, there's only one platinum anyway, but you only have to do the trophies for the main game to get the platinum. You don't have to do it for all the other stuff that's in there. Because it's interesting, like, there's one set of trophies for the main game, then there's two now for the multiplayer, and there's also two for Iki Island. Iki Island is one is like the campaign trophy, then the other one's the exploration stuff, because there's a lot of collectibles and all that, And what I found interesting, no spoilers here, obviously, is how, like, Jin, in the first game, he had a complete character arc, right? He gets another one because there actually is an unresolved thing from the first game. It doesn't impact it in a big way, but it is an unresolved thing, and we actually can see the resolution of it. There's some kind of trippy stuff going on, which I'm not going to mention. And also some new moves. You get some more techniques that you get to unlock. Your horse is able to ram through enemies and kill them, which is always a lot of fun. There's you can pet monkeys now, which is pretty interesting.
You can pet all kinds of animals, actually. You can pet like cats and
dogs. No dogs, but deer. Like because there's a mini game now where you play flutes for animals. The main animals are monkeys, deer, and cats. The mini game is pretty. It's pretty easy. You just got to tilt the controller around and stuff. Pretty easy stuff. And yeah, no, it's great. Like, because I know some people are complaining about the pricing. I'm like, the pricing is worth it enough to me, even though I think I finished it faster than Sony said. I think they said it was like 20 hours. Like, I beat it faster than that. I'm talking about everything 100%. I'm not 100%. I'm going to say 90% because there's some trophies I don't know how to get. So I got to go online with somebody post them.
Well, I mean, these are the Iki Island trophies. They did add additional trophies for when they did the DLC. Where like the new game plus and all that shit.
Yeah, they have those in there too. But I'm talking about the Iki Island stuff specifically. There's these like wind shrines. I'm like, I don't know. And it's funny because me and some of my other peers who got the game early too, they're like, yo, how the fuck do we do this? We're all trying to figure it out. We couldn't do it. This was different than Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank, I think Sony didn't clamp down on that game, so the trophies were just available. This one, I didn't know what the trophies were until today.
Okay.
So I had no idea.
I guess there's plot stuff attached to them. That's what the deal is, right?
And I was also, it's kind of interesting, right? Because I took a picture when I was still in Tsushima Island, and I was like, yo, look at this game right now. I couldn't do it, so I'm guessing I can now. And I do want to say this about the graphics, right? I'm not going to say I was disappointed, but I was expecting a little bit more. But the thing is, I don't think they can do more, right? Because before this, the PS4 version already got an update for the PS5, right? 4K 60 frames. So I was like, how can it look better? It looks just as awesome, So yeah, I guess you can't improve on that. So I'm not complaining about the graphics. It's just because the graphics look fucking incredible. Don't get me wrong, but it's just that don't expect it to be a big blowout bama jamma thing because it already looked really good at 4K 60 as it is.
I mean, at least from what Digital Foundry says, there has been a lot of texture fixes on there. So I mean, this is stuff that I even noticed from the original one, where that some of the close-ups of like items like his sword and stuff had a little bit of a lower res texture on it. So now all of those things have higher res textures. And there's a couple. Oh, and also all the cinematics now run in real time. So what they didn't say about this, the reason, and it also connects to the language option, is that a lot of the cinematics within Ghost of Tsushima are actually pre-rendered, and they use the pre-rendered cinematics to hide the fact that you're that it might be loading in the background. So that's if you notice, the game is pretty seamless. Like you can pretty much jump from area to area pretty damn quickly. But I'm sure on the 5 it's a lot faster. But what they did is now all the cinematics are all running in real time.
Are they though? Because every single cinematic I saw, it was all 30 frames a second.
Now the thing about that is that I think what happened is that there was a little weirdity between the old game and the old game. So like if you play on Pro, you may notice that some cinematics are actually running in 60 frames per second and some aren't. So rather than just have it running at 60, just as let's just put it at 30 and just keep it consistent between them.
Yeah, because I noticed that like the actual when you're playing the actual game, when you're actually playing the game, it's 60 frames a second locked, but as soon as the cinemas start, it's 30, which is was a little bit weird, but it also made it more cinematics or whatever. What happened?
That's really frustrating.
Yeah,
like this is one of the reasons why PC guys always hated console games, because again, cutscenes will be pre-rendered at 30 frames per second because console, but then PC guys will have the game running at 60 frames. So it's like, the fuck's this bullshit about? So yeah, I don't like that. I never have, never will.
Yeah, and it's funny you mention that because, and Riku said this too, it's like now we're kind of in a weird way going back to how it used to be. Back in the day, we would have the game running at 60 frames and then the cinemas would be 30. So we're going back to that now, kind of weird, But let me answer some questions. Yeah, guys, ask me questions about the game. How's the load times, says Keshak. They're good. Here's the thing. The load times are already so insane. Like, they didn't get much better, They're just as good as before. Like, remember, even on PS4 Pro, it was like, whoa, damn, this thing doesn't load. It's crazy. But this one is snapping,
what is it? I remember that the initial load was always the first load when you start the game.
That thing is stupid fast now. Stupid fast.
Okay, yeah, because that one was always the slow one. The original one was the slow one, and then once you're in the game, the things are it's pretty instant.
Yeah, no, this one is super fast. Like you're probably in the game like as soon as you start it, 10 seconds you're already there. You're good to go. So yeah, no, so it's definitely good. Multiplayer, if you like multiplayer, it's back in there. Nothing really much more to say about that. It has all the upgrades because the multiplayer was supported pretty well, so they added all the updates and all that stuff. And it always Keshak with the questions, man. I love it. I heard the enemies got harder. Any thoughts? Yes, they did get harder, but there's a trick because there's a new enemy type. He's like a shaman, So if this dude comes around with a spear and he's like, la, 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 so when he does that, all the enemies in the area get buffed, right? So when I first started playing, I was getting fucked up. I'm like, yo, what is it? Oh my god, how trash should I get? Because usually I lose some skills and I don't play a game for a while. I'm like, because I was running around the main world, I was doing fine, and then I get to Iki Island, I'm getting fucked up. But as soon as I was like, okay, let me focus on this dude first. Whenever I go like into battle, let me focus on the shaman guy. Sometimes there'll be more than two. I go in there, kill him, everything's fine. So the enemies haven't gotten harder. It's just that shaman makes them harder. There is also another enemy type that switches weapons like you do. It was throwing me off too because I'm like, okay, this dude's coming at me with a spear, so I go into my spear stance, and then he brings out his shield. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, so go into my shield stance. So you gotta constantly keep going back and forth. The duels are back, which are always a lot of fun. They call them the myths of Iki Island, I believe. Legendary tales, whatever it's called. Really.
Oh, just stuff. Like the other one, or it's like Hodoryoshi.
Yeah. So they have those. Those are back. Lots of side missions, which is always cool. And it's kind of interesting because the people at Iki Island don't like samurai, so samurai. About the lip syncing, because it's funny because I remember I started playing the original game in Japanese. I'm like, I want that authentic feel, but I had to turn it off because the lip syncing was off. It's throwing me off,
Yeah.
So I turned it on. I'm like, I'm so used to the English voice. The voice acting is so good. Like, I'm just gonna stick with it, What other questions did I have here? How's the new lock on? I'm glad you asked me that because I know there's supposed to be a lock on. I didn't know how to do it, so I just played it like I normally did. So,
well, I mean, you got to go. I think it's just like the other thing that the other quality of life change that they did on the game. You actually have to go into the menu and actually turn it on.
Oh, is that what? I didn't go to the menus.
It's not like pressing the thumbstick in because that's like that's the screen.
Yeah, the only thing I did in the menu was just like check between performance mode and whatever mode. But I'm like they both run at 60 frames a second, so it doesn't matter. But lock on. I'm sorry, I can't answer that because I don't know how to work this shit. So I just played it like normal and it was fine.
It's like the one where you put the little bug that comes out. You could set up. That initially was an upgrade that they did. So what you have to do is you have to go into the menu and turn it on. So
there you go.
I don't think it's automatically on.
Okay, that's probably what it is. Any cool armor sets? Yes, there are a lot of armor sets, not only for Jin but for his horse.
Yeah, the horse didn't. I don't remember the horse. The horse never had any armor, did it?
No, you just get different saddles. That's about it. But yeah, the horse gets armor. You get armor. Yes, you do get armor, and some of them are pretty cool. Not gonna spoil anything. They're
just for show or just
no.
Can you use the horse to ram?
Yeah. The horse like if you have him fully armored up, like he'll just because he does eventually take damage. He'll take like a ton of damage. And Jin, he has his one armor set where it disables your normal parry, but your perfect parries kill instantly, which is really cool. So it's like a risk and reward type of thing because if you fuck that up, then you get hurt extra, But I wouldn't say it's any harder, It's about the same difficulty. Obviously, you could bump up the difficulty if you want. And I think that's pretty much it. The game's dope. Get the shit. It's great. PS4, PS5 doesn't matter. Get it. Iki Island alone is really cool. With difficulty normal. I don't. When I review games and just normal, I don't fuck around with easy or hard. I play it on normal. Because my thing is like easy is always too easy and hard. I'm not trying to ram my head against the wall. And for reviews, people are playing it on normal anyway. And I'll just say this. This is a quick aside. Obviously, I don't judge people who play games on easy, but for me, it defeats the purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want a little bit of something there, but I also don't want to throw it on hard. The only time I play on hard, you can check my trophies, is I'm trying to get a platinum or something, Other than that, I'm like, why am I doing this, So, yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, that'll be that. So, Ghost of Tsushima, available hopefully now on PlayStation 5, And I saw some people on my timeline actually got PlayStations. So, perfect game to get because there's nothing new out. So, may as well replay this,
Mm-hmm.